Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from grade 2 with the title of presentation is type of research based on research methods. Okay, for save time, for the first speaker is me. I will explain about historical research. Next slide, please. Okay, historical research, according to Baby 2008, states that comparative and historical research is an investigation or other social units over a certain period of time and in comparison to one another. The historical method itself has the meaning of the process critically reviewing, explaining, and analyzing the records and relics of the past. While in the Novandi 2070, the historical method consists of 4 stages, including heuristic, source criticism, interpretation, and historiography. Historical method is process of critical assessment, explanation, and analysis over a critical period of time. For the next slide, please. According to Neumann in Karianta et al. 2020, mentioned several conditions that are most suitable to be answered using the comparative historical method. Namely, the first condition is find the researchers to find out why certain social accounts occur. The second situation is when the researcher wants to compare a topic of the same social concept and concept in several different cultures. And the last one is researchers want to determine whether the old explanation for certain social phenomena are still valid in line with change from time to time. Okay, this is all for my explanation. The next one is Anisa Salsabiila. To Anisa, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to moderator. Anisa Salsabiila will explain about descriptive research. Okay, the definition of descriptive research. Descriptive research is a research that seeks to describe a symptom, event that is happening at the present time. According to Sundari, 2012. Descriptive method is a descriptive method is a research method that is shown to make a picture or painting in a systematic, actual, and accurate manner of sample or population data as it is, according to Tanjung and Naraban 2016. So, descriptive method is a research method that describes a feature, symptom, event systematically and accurately source sample data. Okay, next. Step of implement descriptive research according to Sundari 2012. Dari six, first is formulate the problem. Second, determine the type of data required. Third, define data collection procedure. Fourth, define the data processing procedure. If data processing is related to the type of data collected. And the last, draw research conclusion. Okay, that's me.
Okay, thank you to Anisa. The next one is Husnathul Khulfah. To Husnathul, time is yours.
Okay, thanks to moderator. I will explain about according to Sundari 2012 types of descriptive research is 6 type. First is education survey, take two and case study, and the next developmental studies. Next is follow-up study and trend studies, and the last is correlational studies. According to Daniel 20 and 15, the case study method is an intensive and thorough method of disclosing the background, status, and environmental interaction of certain individuals, group, institution, and communities. And then the analysis is in-depth, revealing all the variables that cause the case to occur from various aspects that affect the case. According to Sundari 20 and 12, the emphasis is on the question of why individuals behave the way they do, how they behave in those conditions, and their effect on their environment, not to test hypotheses, but to produce hypotheses that can be tested further. So the data collection technique is very comprehensive, namely is observation, interview, documentary analysis, and our tests on research sample are purposive. Okay, that's all from me. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thanks to all. The next one is Fikrah di sini to Fikrah Kanisya.
Okay, thanks to moderator. The next is correlational research. According to Nur Salam 2008, correlational research aims to reveal the correlative relationship between variables. And meanwhile, according to Guy in NZ 2003, the purpose of correlational research is to determine the relationship between variables, to use the relationship to make prediction. So correlational research is a study to determine the relationship and level of relationship between two or more variables without any attempt to influence these variables so that there is no variable manipulation. Next. The next is comparative causal research. According to Project No 2013, the causal comparative research method is research conducted by investigating possible cause and effect relationship by observing the existing consequences, then tracing the causal factors that allow them. And then Isaac and Michael in Project No 2013 explained that the main characteristic of causal comparative research is its ex post facto nature. That is, data is collected after all events which are studied take place. Then the researcher selects one or more impacts and examines the past data for their causes, relationships, and meanings. Next is through experimental research. According to Isaac and Michael in Project No 2013, the experimental method aims to investigate possible causal relationship by applying one or more treatment to one or more experimental group and comparing the result with the condition of one or more control groups that were not treated. And the real research design has three forms of design, namely post-test, pre-test, and combination. That's all from me. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thanks to Fikrah. The last one speaker is Trinindi to Trinindi Anisa.
Okay, thanks to moderator. The next is about quasi-experiment. According to Mohadi in Miftahur Rahman 2020, quasi-experiment is research that conduct experiment in the experimental class, where each experimental class is subject to certain treatment and condition that can be controlled. And quasi-experiment is an experiment where the research control as many variables as possible in the existing situation, because it's not possible to fully control two variables according to Sugiono in Astuti 2014. And then so quasi-experiment is a research through experimentation by giving certain treatment to certain variable as well. Next slide. The next is mixed research method. Mixed research method are solution to obtain data if only quantitative or only qualitative method are deemed unable to produce complete data to answer the formulation of research problem, according to Riantoni 2021. Meanwhile, according to Wijaya 2013, mixed method research can be placed separately. Research may be begin with quantitative data collection or begin with qualitative data collection. So mixed method research is research that apply qualitative and quantitative method in a research. Next slide. The last is classroom action research, or CAR. Is research conducted by teacher in the classroom to solve the learning problem they face by making improvement to the quality and learning outcome, and doing new things to improve the quality and learning outcomes, according to Widayati 2008. And then according to Suhadi and Susilana 2002, CAR is scientific research aimed to solving problem through new skill by applying directly to classroom situation. So we can conclude that classroom action research, or CAR, is a research conducted by teacher through new skill applied in the classroom to solve the problem and improve the quality and learning outcomes. That's all from me. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thanks to Trinindi. Okay, that is all about our presentation for group 2. If anyone wants to ask a question, please welcome. If no one, I give the presentation for group 3, the group 3 semester.